Some background as to this comment. I've talked about in several videos how I believe if you're an adult for one thing, then you're an adult for everything. So, in other words, at 18 years old, the law says you're old enough to go out and buy a house. You're old enough to get married without parental consent. You're old enough to have a kid. You're old enough to join the military or get drafted into the military and be shipped halfway across the world and die on the battlefield in order to protect your country. Then in my world, you are also old enough to smoke a joint, own a gun, or drink a beer. If you are old enough to get handed a gun, get put into a uniform, and get flown halfway around the world and die on a battlefield in protection of your country, in defense of your country, then you surely are old enough to sit on the deck of your house and drink a beer in celebration of your country. If you're an adult for one, you're an adult for everything. And this person left the following comment. Then, at 18 years old, you should also be old enough to be the President of the United States. Do you really want 18-year-olds being president? I understand what you're saying, right? You're an adult, you're an adult. And I agree with you. I think that if you're an adult, period. But that doesn't mean that I don't agree with putting restrictions on some things, right? I don't have a problem with an 18-year-old smoking a joint or drinking a beer if we're saying that they're responsible enough to vote and pick the leaders of our country, or they're responsible enough to fight an enemy nation. But you really want 18-year-olds being president of the United States? Can't say as I get on board with that thought process. Yeah, listen, at 18, you are an adult. And you can go out and buy a house and get married and have a kid, and start a company and have a job, join the military, do all sorts of things, vote. But being the leader of the free world, so to speak, being in the most powerful position on the planet, I think that that's a smidge early for 18-year-olds. I don't have a problem with the 35-year age limit, or age limit. My apologies. My little fan was blowing on me. It was cold. I had to turn it. I don't have a problem with keeping the 35-year-old age limit, because while I think that you are responsible enough to vote, to own a gun, to fight in the military, to smoke a joint, or to drink a beer, I don't think that you're responsible enough to run the free world. I'm going to disagree here.